patients with signs of the fast-spreading disease. We've got live team coverage.
Breaking news out of California, a deadly shooting on a Greyhound bus.
And police want this man for allegedly stabbing a 13-year-old girl. Can you help detectives find him? The death toll in China from the coronavirus now greater than the SARS virus. That's according to the New York Times. Hello, I'm David Ushery.
And I'm Jen Maxfield in for Stacey. As concerns grow, the markets are taking a hit. Even Google stepping in, trying to combat misinformation about the virus online.
New York City officials say they're keeping an eye on 3 possible patients in our area. News 4's Catherine Craig is kicking off our team coverage. She's in Flushing. Kat?
And Jen and David, those 3 patients are being investigated. City leaders are awaiting test results. The 3 patients, 1 woman, 2 men, all different ages, but what they have in common is that they traveled to China recently and they have flu-like symptoms. One of the patients is here at Flushing Hospital Medical Center. We went around the community and all around Flushing, where there is a large population of Chinese and Chinese Americans. So many people are wearing masks. They told us they worry about the coronavirus spreading. Some also are wearing plastic gloves. They're not taking any chances. City leaders are awaiting test results of the 3 patients who may have the virus. Samples were sent to the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, and we do expect an update from the CDC later today. The first suspected patient in New York, a woman who's under 40 years of age, still being tested at Bellevue Hospital. Another suspected case has been reported at New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital. The 2 patients in Queens are men over 60. For some people here in Flushing, reaction is mixed when it comes to how worried they are in becoming sick with coronavirus.
Everything for me is normal, but when I see a lot of crowd, I wear the mask and make myself feel comfortable.
There are millions of people in New York. 2 out of millions, come on now. You know.
So no worries at all?
Not really, no.
And at this point, with travelers, Americans arriving from China will only be allowed to land at 11 airports across the United States, including 2 in our area, Kennedy and Newark. Passengers have to be medically screened. Reporting live in Queens, Catherine Craig, News 4 New York.
Kat, thank you. And Chinese scientists say they have more evidence that the new coronavirus likely originated in bats. In 2 papers published today, scientists report that genome sequences from several patients in Wuhan show the virus is closely related to the viruses that cause SARS. Now, SARS is believed to also have originated in bats, although it jumped to cats before infecting people in the 2002 outbreak. In today's CNBC Money Report, the coronavirus outbreak is taking a major toll on business dealings around the world.
Among the companies affected, Apple and the Wynn Resorts and Casinos. Sue Herrera over at CNBC to update us. Sue?
David, Jen, great to see you. We have a bounce back in the market today after a 600-point rout on Friday, but we've really only made back about half of that loss. And the market is very nervous about what is happening in China and what's happening here as it pertains to the coronavirus. So right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up just under 300 points on today's trading session. We'll see whether or not that holds after we get some briefings from the CDC a bit later today. Apple is in focus. The company said it is joining a handful of other overseas businesses in closing all of its corporate offices and all of its stores out of an abundance of caution because of the coronavirus. They're going to keep those closed until February 9th. They joined Starbucks and McDonald's corporations and others that are closing all of their operations in China, at least temporarily. Now, Apple relies on China not just for sales, but also for manufacturing. So we'll see how long they actually do keep those stores closed. They're pinpointing February 9th, but you never know. That could change. Wynn Resorts recovering a little bit today after a big rout last week. They get a lot of their business from Macau and Chinese tourists, and those numbers have fallen off in terms of visits and the money spent at those resorts and at those casinos, and that is all because of the coronavirus. We do get a little bounce in today's trading session, but keep in mind that's because the market overall is up just under 300 points. But Wynn has really been hit quite hard, so we'll see whether this recovery holds. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Sue Herrera over at CNBC. Thank you, Sue. And keep it with News 4 for the latest on, again, the 3 possible cases being monitored closely here in New York City. We're going to have updates throughout the day on air and online.
We are following breaking news out of California, where at least one person is dead after a shooting on a Greyhound bus. This is happening in Kern County, about an hour into a trip from Los Angeles to the Bay Area. Now, 5 other passengers were hurt. We're told the driver pulled over and the gunman got off the bus. He was later taken into custody, and at this point, a motive is not clear.
In the Bronx, police are looking for this person because they say he stabbed and slashed a 13-year-old girl after an argument on Friday near East 141st Street and 3rd Avenue in Mott Haven. News 4's Tracy Strahan is at that scene. Tracy?
Well, David, we just checked in with the NYPD. They tell us that 13-year-old's been upgraded to stable condition. Now, we know she got into a heated argument with that suspect on the run. That entire encounter caught on camera here on 3rd Avenue. Security video that shows the crowd of chaos that man was up against. I'll take a look for yourself. This is security video of the suspect, and you see him there in the red hat. Now, quickly, he's surrounded by dozens of teenagers here near 141st Street Friday around 6 o'clock. People in the neighborhood said after the suspect tried to calm that crowd down after a fight down the street, they turned on him, shoving him, punching him, even hurling an orange construction cone towards him before he fell. Now, people around here say one of the teenagers in the crowd actually spit at the suspect. That's when you see him whip out a weapon, and we're freezing the video right before he slashed that teen, stabbing her twice in the back. We want to show you videos, or I should say pictures, released by the NYPD just last night at the man of the center of this. You see him there once again wearing that red cap and all dark clothing. We're told he fled this area on a scooter. Now, anyone with any information as to who that man could be is certainly asked to contact the NYPD immediately. And to help with this, Crime Stoppers upping the ante, offering $2,500 of a reward for any information that leads to him. We're live in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. Tracy Strahan, News 4 New York.
All right, Tracy, appreciate the update from the scene there. Now to New Jersey, where 3 people are wanted after New York police say they busted into a woman's apartment, sexually assaulted and robbed her. This happened yesterday on Broad Street. Now, it's not clear if they knew she was home at the time, but police say they sexually assaulted her before stealing her cash, car keys, and other property.
The Iowa caucus is tonight in Decision 2020, and it's going to be a busy day with 4 of the 11 remaining candidates jockeying for the #1 spot. NBC's Wendy Wolf joins us live from Des Moines with the latest. Wendy?
Hey, David, there is a lot of excitement and uncertainty here in the Hawkeye State, and it's still anyone's race to win.
We all have one goal, and we better come together to meet that goal. We are going to beat Donald Trump.
All eyes on Iowa. Democratic hopefuls finishing their last-minute dash across the Hawkeye State, hoping they did enough to convince voters they should be the party's nominee.
We're kind of like a yard sign for the rest of the country. When they see who can win here, it may increase folks' chances of voting for that candidate on Super Tuesday.
But what they are looking for is a candidate who's going to unite the country and bring decency back.
Voters here don't cast a ballot like a traditional election. They physically group themselves by a candidate in each precinct. If the candidate doesn't get 15% of the caucus crowd, voters can realign themselves one time.
I think at the end of that time, you're going to have a clear idea of who's where and how, and I feel very good about where I am.
Polls show former Vice President Joe Biden in a tight race with Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, with former Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg not far behind.
But I'm also here mindful that even at this late hour, there's a lot of folks still making up their minds.
A decision that these candidates hope will propel them to the presidency.
Iowa Democrats take these caucuses very seriously. The party is expecting a record turnout tonight. That's the latest here live in Des Moines. I'm Wendy Woolfolk. David, back to you in New York.
Wendy, before you go, I wanted to ask you, there's some new rules this year about the results?
There sure are, and it can be kind of confusing. What you're going to see later this evening is 3 different results. The first will be the raw numbers of those first alignments, who these people support from the get-go. Then you'll see those realignments or their final alignments. That's number 2. The third you'll see is the number of delegates they're going to take to the state convention. The big news there is the fact that multiple campaigns can claim a win when they leave here and head on to New Hampshire.
Pretty confusing situation. All right, Wendy, thank you for your reporting. News 4's government affairs reporter Melissa Russo on the ground in Iowa to sort through it all for us. You can see her live report starting this afternoon on News 4 at 4 o'clock.
All right, turning now to the weather at home. It's already 48 degrees, Dave Price.
48 degrees. You don't want time to fly, but I will tell you, outside as we get into the 50s today, it's going to feel like April. Wow. It's stunning. As we take a look, we're also going to see consistently warmer temperatures. Let's talk about it over at the weather wall right now and see what's happening. Here is what we're looking at and tracking. Temperatures 15 to 20 degrees above average today. Umbrellas up for the rest of the work week. There's some consistency, and we're looking at mainly rain because of these warm temperatures. Some snow and ice possible, but no major accumulations at all. So live look outside right now. This is spectacular, isn't it? Plenty of blue sky, couple of clouds. We are going to flip things around later tonight when more clouds come on through. We've got 58% humidity, winds out of the west-northwest at just about 7 miles per hour, and wind chill makes it feel like it's 42. Let's go and take a look at temperatures around the area right now. There we have 50 degrees in Basking Ridge already. We're right up close to it in Califon. 51 as we head to the south and west. And as we take a look at Spotswood at 47 and 54 as we head to Hillsborough. Wider look, still in the 30s as we head to Monticello, but everywhere else really nicely ensconced in some very comfortable conditions. We have plenty of sunshine, but look over to the west. Those clouds begin to move toward us as we head through the rush hour and beyond. That's what we're going to see tonight, along with some clear spots into Tuesday. There are the clouds and the rain not far behind. And then we're going to just see continuing periods of shower activity. This is a wet week ahead for us. Take a look. This is Wednesday. There's a dose of rain there. And then as we head into Thursday, another one. There's that mix that we're talking about as we head outside the city. And then as we head into Friday, it's a wet, rainy day ahead. How much rain do we get? Well, let's talk about the fact that in the city, 1 to 2, but many areas around the region wind up between 2 and 3 inches. 55 degrees today, today's high temperature. That's double nickels or the speed limit, however you want to look at it. Sun and clouds well above average. Sunset at 5:15. 42 degrees tonight. Quiet and dry. That's kind of the last time we say consistently dry for a while. Not as chilly. Sunrise tomorrow at 7:03 with 52 degrees. Spotty showers in the picture. And as we move ahead through the rest of the week, we are going to see the continuation of wet weather pushing on through the region. Here's what it looks like. But we also see a continuation of above average temperatures. Where are those 30s? Where are those numbers at 40 degrees or below? It's just not in the picture for us. So we have the umbrellas. We do see a couple of flakes, maybe some headaches, but we are certainly not seeing a heavy snow in the picture at all for the next 10 days. And we are talking about, again, almost 2 weeks ahead of above average temperatures. 55 degrees in February.
Doesn't look much like a winter forecast. Not so great for our snow lovers.
Not right now, it doesn't.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks. And thank you for joining us in this abbreviated edition of News 4 Online.
So you can, I'm sorry, to cut you off,
No,
Jen?
please, David, go ahead.
Why, thank you. Let me add that you can keep it right here for any breaking news or weather updates anytime. Please enjoy your day.